Good day, everyone. This is the presentation of Group 2, and I am Rosti Folioso, and together with my fellow groupmates, Mr. Basina, Mr. Reyes, and Mr. Santos, we are presenting to you the article entitled What Supports Do Teachers Need on Effective Instructional Technology Integration by Atayka Shemshak on the from the Learning Technologies Department of University of North Texas. So from the title, I want to emphasize three things here. So first, first the support. Second, the teachers need, and third is technology integration. Actually, these three is the main point always talked or stated in the article. So first, the support. Not just want to know the supports that is needed by teachers, but also who supports them. Okay, but we want to know that after the slide. So another one is the teachers need. What are the teachers need? What are their needs for in order for them to effectively teach on the online setting, as to effectively integrate the technology on their classes. And also mentioning the teachers here, actually teachers are not, let's say, the main character or the main person, the central focus of the article, but the person behind them, behind this integration, behind the supports given to teachers need. Again, it's not the teachers. So who it is? Another, the last one, is technology integration. Before I go to the next slide, I want you to guess who is this person? Who do you think this person is? Or what are the support he or she does? Or he or she do about this? How important is this person and his roles and responsibilities for the successful ICT integration of teachers? So let's start. But before anything else, let's take a look at the image at front. So sure, you had a hint about whom it is I've been mentioning a while ago. This inside the rectangle is the ideal picture of today's class setting where teachers and their learners had a successful technology integration. Though had a long list of barriers, education is still there, still never be hindered, and the primary one behind it is no other than school leader by his plans and ways to support the progress in education um, amidst of pandemic. The pandemic, though, had long list of bad memories and effect to us. One of its advantage is that it gave way and opportunity to finally integrate technology in education to every schools. However, the start of school year 2020, students and their parents, teachers, and the school experienced unplanned technology integration, which decreased teachers' technology usage motivation, so resulting to low efficacy on their teaching learning process. And that are some of the issues emerged in the actual setting that is resolved because of support and roles of the person behind these teachers, which is their principals. However, are not the participant of the research, instead the teachers. Teachers are interviewed rather than the principal itself. Why? It seems to be like feedback technique to resolve this new emerging issue of technology and its integration to our education. As what stated on the article, principal must be aware of the importance of their role in promoting definite changes for students who will perform in the 21st century society of growing technological inventions. Therefore, teachers' views on school principals' roles and responsibilities were investigated to provide insight into schools' technology leadership. So let's go on. So what are the things our group find out from the article? So here's what our group find out. So the first 2 points, we get the general view for principal's involvement on technology integration, especially on his or her school. So the first one is like the starting point, wherein he or she has to be equipped with ICT leadership. So tonight, as we tackle technology integration, the article told us that first of all, it is very crucial for principals to again be equipped with ICT leadership. What does it mean? So as principals, they had to meet the standards of educational leaders. As principals, who is this educator's leader, it's a must and necessary for him or her to be equipped with not just to be ICT literate, who is knowledgeable on the field of 21st century skills, knowledgeable on computers, both software and hardware, digital skills, or more that is concerned with up-to-date technology literacy growth. Again, not just those, but most especially in terms of combination of technology and pedagogy, and of course, leadership. This is ICT leadership, meaning above all, on school, they must be knowledgeable enough to 21st century skills and technology useful to education. As said here, in terms of performing technology literacy growth into planning, promoting, and supporting. So we see the first point is very crucial for him or her to be able to meet the needs of the teachers and support it. And also, indirectly to students, as you know, principals to teachers to students, and also to promote technology integration on the schools. And this I've mentioned are on the scope of the next point, which is the 3 goals that a principal must met on the technology integration of schools or the implementation of ICT use. As the first point is the literal like starting point of principle for successful ICT integration, this second point is the end goal that every principal and every school itself want to accomplish. So let's read it with me. Number 1, leading, modeling ICT knowledge. Number 2, empowering, supporting teachers. Number 3, planning for technology integration. So in first goal, principals develop skills, purposeful to lead and navigate change, advance systems, and promote mindset of continuous improvement for how technology can improve learning. In the second goal, it ensures 2 things, materially and knowledge or skills. In other words, principals ensure both the training and instructional technology resources to empower and support teachers' needs. And lastly, the third goal, which is to create an effective plan for this technology integration. He or she set plans to remain current on emerging technologies for learning innovations in pedagogy and advancement in the learning science in the learnings. If if these goals are met, we can see that principals had built teams and systems to continually implement, sustain, and continually improve the use of technology to support teachers' needs and for its students' learning. Let me read the last part. For educators and students to fully acquire and benefit from ICT, its educational use needs to be supported and modeled by teachers and school leaders. Now, I have shared with you with the general scope or the larger view, the start and end goal of principals' involvement in the implementation to ICT implementation to schools that now we found out on this article. His roles and responsibilities will be further discussed by Sir Reyes.
Main barriers to instructional technology integration. The things that are enlisted as a barrier of education in the articles are: first is the lack of training of the students or teacher on how to operate online classes. Second is their own devices that might already be outdated and will already be impossible to have online classes. Or basically, it is an old type of phone. Third, it is said that the principal's duty to have an expert that can help the teachers or students regarding technologies. But if they have failed to do so, then it is one big of a barrier that is hard to deal with. And lastly, if students or teachers that does not have any devices, and even if they will be provided by the government, it is still a barrier regarding through the time that it will take for those who are far away for them to receive the device on the exact on the exact needed time. Principal's role and responsibilities in technology. According to the article or research, one of the principal's responsibility is to have their school exact or enough supplies available for ICT resources. Then, they also need support for ICT integration such as active admins and ITs for having people that know well about technologies. Also, school equipments for teachers and students to use for their online classes and readiness before they start their class, just like us in PUP who have started on October rather than the normal ones that is June, to be ready ourselves to adjust to this new normal. Lastly, planning for the most effective instructional integration they can come up, like on how here in the Philippines, where there is online and modular, to have a blended learning for students. It might not be the best, but at least it's not the worst.
So, the something new that we found out in the article that was given to us entitled What Supports Do Teachers Need on Effective Instructional Technology Integration? We found out four things such as the instructional technology integration, the technology leadership, the technological integration planning, and the policy pyramid. So first things first, under the instructional technology integration, nandito yung instructional technology and technology integration versus technology implementation. So yung instructional technology, the main purpose of this is to give effective teaching and learning experiences for students using the technology itself. So basically, ginagamit siya ng mga teachers or ng mga higher than them para makakreate ng bagong way for effective teaching. The next is technology integration versus technology implementation. So magkaiba siya. So yung technology integration, yan yung ginagamit natin na use of technology na nagiging effective, such as yung paggamit natin ng messenger, which is yung ginagamit ngayon sa online class sa pandemic, na mas napapadali yung buhay ng mga estudyante kasi yun yung nagiging way. And then yung technology implementation naman is the use of technology in the classroom environment, pero we don't guarantee na magiging effective siya, such as yung ibang activities na ginagamit sa online class, na gumagamit tayo ng ibang apps kasi parang minsan hindi nagigits ng mga estudyante kahit ano na siya, used by technology na siya, so hindi pa rin nagigits ng mga estudyante in some cases. So yun yung pinagkaiba nila. Next is the technology leadership. In technology leadership naman, ando siya na yun nga, may given sa educational leader. So educational leaders, basically yung principal, yung teacher, they are the one who first na nag-aaral about using technology to effective learning. So basically inaalam nila lahat yan para in case na gagamitin na nila, so they will perfectly perform the use of technology through effective learning. Then the third one is the technological integration planning. So basically, after ng technology leadership, so may alam ka na as a leader, as a educational leader. So kailangan mo na ng technological integration planning. So yung planning na to is hindi basta-basta. So connected din siya dito sa pang-apat na policy pyramid. Yun nga, may given dyan ng planning tsaka maintenance. So yung planning tsaka maintenance, syempre planning, haalamin mo lahat ng advantage and disadvantages ng use of technology towards teaching. And then ayun, gagawa ka ng maintenance kasi ayun, connected na rin siya sa integration planning kasi yung gawa mo ng maintenance ay yung mga pag-adapt mo sa mga disadvantages or sa mga pagkakamali or some faults ng plan na to. And then yung integration activities, ito naman yung mga activity na ginagawa natin towards the after the planning. So once na na-plan na siya, once na perfect executed na yung plan, so dito na lumalabas yung mga integration activities such as yung paglabas ng iba't ibang way of teaching na ginagamit natin yung technology. So ayun, dito nakaka-under yung technological integration planning at saka yung policy pyramid. So these four things na we found out and discussed is hindi naman siya bago sa paningin. Nagkaroon ng nabigyan lang siya ng much information and explanation. So mas maiintindihan natin yung mga terms and keywords. So yan po.
As per discussed, presented in the current slide is our reflections in the article/research paper regarding the principal support to teachers in technology integration in teaching. Information and technology, compared from the past few years, is now becoming more essential in education. Even before the COVID-19 struck the entire world and froze all the social activities and gathering, including regular classes, technology has been very helpful in the acquisition and transfer of general knowledge all over the different fields of education. Books, research papers, theses, even libraries and professionals were replaced by the internet as it is faster, despite of the sources sometimes not that reliable. Second point, the rapid development of technology makes it so it becomes a necessity in teaching and learning. Since most physical sources were required to be taken care in a place such as national libraries and the likes, not everybody has the time to go there. Such reason makes technology necessary in teaching and learning because same reason in the first point, it is way faster. A click of a button shows so many informations to absorb and filter. But then again, researchers should be careful of their sources. Lastly, principal, as the headmaster of a school, should support teachers in integrating technology in education. The first 2 points ultimately leads to the last point, where technology integration in schools should be, of course, supported by the headmaster of the school. Without it, teaching and learning capabilities will be left behind and slowed down as most of the schools who has access to the internet and sufficient technology surely integrates it to their teaching process and also allowing students to explore such.